Hammer of D versus
Hammer of D versus Markza.
Markza's.
What is a Markza? I don't know.
I haven't played Gears of War yet.
I think I think it's a gun in Gears of War. I think that's what's been established so far over the course. All right, so we're gonna take a real quick. We're gonna look at these things. Let's look at the bands, which I haven't showed you because I'm super good at this.
There we go. So we've got our bands coming in on Hammer D, Gnar, Lissandra, Kassadin. So banning out Lissandra and Kassadin on Misha.
Yeah,
so
Misha.
something
Misha's
that we've seen
last
all day.
game, played a ridiculous Kassadin with his like kooky crazy build.
Okay, awesome.
And a bunch of carried the game like pretty hardcore. He's kind of carried every game that he's played today. He's like kind of playing out of his brain today, which is great because he's a good guy, tries his best. Statistically the best Alessandra in the world. Whatever. The Gnar is something that I'm happy to finally see because I've seen Dark Wolf Queen play Gnar 3, maybe 4 times today, if not more than that. And every time it's been pretty clean. She plays team fights really well on that champion, so it'd be interesting to see her on something else for a change.
Looking at Markza's bands, the Amumu, the Orianna, and Darius, they kind of hit a lot of different roles there. Kind of not pinpointing a specific role like they've done, offering 2 bands to mid lane. Let's talk about that. We've seen Misha play Orianna before earlier today. We've seen the Amumu come out as well, and target banning the Darius. What do you think? Right? Are they looking at to ban out their weaker lanes to say like these are your mains and we don't want you to play them?
The Amumu is definitely like Amumu one trick ban. Like Amumify is, I can almost guarantee you is I don't even have to look at his champion mastery, at their champion mastery rather. They're most likely an Amumu one trick. Did play Kale earlier today to some success. Orianna is just kind of one of those champions that is very safe to lane in. And it seems like they want to get, Markza wants to get a sort of a dominant lane that Misha can really just like have take over, shove in and, get some roam priority.
Okay.
And the Darius is just something that 15 FPS played earlier today, and
he did pretty well.
Played really well, yeah.
Looking at the other games, kind of, like I said, it's really interesting to see that, Hammer of D looking to ban out the mid lane, and then with, Markza banning out kind of specific roles and mains. Now, let's talk about the picks. So Hammer D prioritizing that Alistar pick. First picking it through with their bot lane, allowing the counter to come through for later on the top and the bottom lane. Kale, strong pick as you said, did really, really well. Now looking at Markza's team, Caitlyn, pretty good answer, pretty safe, has the escapes, really strong right now. So we've seen that come through.
Yeah, super good with the Braum as well, just to get that extra peel. And if a Caitlyn gets the peel she needs, she is going to 1v5 a team fight inevitably over time.
With her kind of revamp to how her traps work, I feel like just in a team fight she can just keep laying down the traps, keep headshotting people, and then couple that with her inbuilt skill set. Like it's just she's done really well to kind of sustain herself as a top ADC hero and a champion pick for a lot of people. Now with Hecarim and Renekton being picked out and the Braum, this is a kind of like I feel like a protect the Caitlyn, feel the love, share the love kind of thing.
They've got some pretty decent peel for the Caitlyn, but also some substantial dive for the back line.
Right.
We're going to see Pure pick up the Karma again. We saw him play Karma earlier today, actually, quite effectively. They played a very similar comp earlier today. They just switched, the only difference being the Darius over the Kennen. But I think everything else was actually the same in the game that we saw on stream.
So it's still kind of be like it's still going to be kind of like the same playstyle in which the Alistar and the Kennen are kind of going to go in. Karma, interest on kind of on the poke, and Kale to support one or the other, the front line or the back line. Really interesting to see. And with the red team, with Markza kind of following up, able to go in and having the back line with Caitlyn and Xerath kind of poke down. Let's see if they'll lock in Xerath though.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it. Xerath's kite is pretty nice, as well as his long-range engage once he gets the...
I wouldn't be surprised by the Victor pick as well. We've seen Misha play a pretty strong Victor mid lane as well. He's been working on that, so...
I mean, Syndra's also not banned, but...
Pick.
Yeah, this is a champion that we saw him do pretty well on earlier. Honestly, probably his weakest performance of his performances so far today was on the Xerath.
Okay.
Which is not to say he's a bad Xerath player.
It's just out of the
but,
champions that he's played today.
So, he didn't play badly. played worse than the rest of them. They didn't necessarily carry that game, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Because this game is a new game. So we're gonna see what happens. The jungle matchup, I'm a little bit worried for a Mumify on this Kale. Because we saw earlier today, the build was just completely forego jungle item initially, rush Nashor's Tooth, and then go into the Blood Razor.
Right.
Whereas Hecarim really power farms, gets a lot of items early. And after his first clear, clears the jungle relatively healthy. And can get some invades on the Kale, who is a relatively slow has a relatively slow clear. Jesus, I can't even talk. Up until she gets a couple items. Hey, you get to look at our ugly bugs
There we
again.
go. There we go. So looking at it, I feel that Hammer just has to kind of play the front line, but as well as kind of defend that line so that Tristana and Kennen can kind of poke down, deal their damage. Tristana just doing her work. I think that would be able to kind of peel through the damage.
Yeah,
right?
and the Karma does a really good job of helping with that because of the that extra speed on the shields. You can kind of just all right, guys, we're gonna engage now. Mantra E, everybody's super fast, got super big shields, and they're just going at it. And that's gonna be a big issue for a low mobility mid laner in the Xerath.
And we're seeing the Ghost come out, right? We're seeing the Ghost offer the mobility through team fights to to kind of counter that immobilization that you're talking about. So we might see Misha, we've seen her all day kind of roam, feed other lanes, but as well as secure those kills, right? With Xerath, he has that ability with the long range to kind of secure those kills as well as aid other lanes by not fully committing to them, right? And applying that needed pressure.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually.
Allowing Renekton to either teleport in or Hecarim to follow up. So that's going to be really interesting to see paired up with the Braum ulti. We're going to see a lot of scrappy fights, I think, in the bot lane. Just so, they're going to want to shut down the Tristana against Hammer of D.
Yeah, of course. The support matchup is pretty... I don't really know how to put it, but it's definitely in favor of the Braum. The Braum into Alistar is really strong, especially with the Caitlyn. Tristana's early game is pretty weak.
Right.
Unless you can get a couple of ganks and get some snowballing, and you can get the Caitlyn to fall behind. But that's hasn't proved to be very easy.
Right.
The AD carry on Markza has been playing very well today. We saw some ridiculous Lucian mechanics in previous games.
Okay, right on.
We'll see how he busts.
I'm really interested. I'm really interested to see how Tristana's going to, couple with that fact of a strong Alistar, a flash Q or flash E, trying to secure those kills, and having a Caitlyn that has such an easy disengage, right, with the net, and then following up with a headshot.
Yeah.
It's kind of free. So it's free damage. It's free.
It's free with proper execution, but it's whether or not they're going to execute it properly is the only question.
I feel with the Braum, being able to stand by me, having the shield up, and just applying that needed pressure that they have, it's just like you said, it's a lot better than against having the Alistar. Braum's gonna have that needed matchup, right, and have that advantage and create that kind of peeling distance for Caitlyn and allow her to farm.
Yeah, that is one of the things that's kept Braum in the meta, even as ranged supports became more and more prominent. Is that he has that just a unique ability to engage and disengage kind of simultaneously, almost.
Right.
Like his shield is obviously a crazy powerful ability, blocking everything coming up to it. But the way that you can, disengage for your carries as well as engage for your front line with all your knockups and whatever.
Right. All right. So just entering the Summoner's Rift here, entering the load screen. So, excuse me.
We gonna do this? Do the damn thing.
Everything's
hey,
crazy. There we go.
Bwah.
All right, so just heading on to the load screen now. All right,
and we did it. We have been missing the level or the load screens all day for whatever reason, so we can't find. We can't get.
Like their player borders or anything like that?
Not even their borders, it's their keystones is what we're real interested in here. But it looks like the Alistar appears to be going Thunder Cow because he's not got the Bond of Stone that you would see there.
Right.
Whereas the Braum is going Bond of Stone, going for the invade early. Braum, one of the strongest champions at the level 1.
But they do have the ward, so they do spot them into the red brush.
They saw the invade
Exactly.
coming from things that they've.
So we have Karma kind of following up, probably going to lay down a Q. Yep. Just got some early damage and an early poke down. Still not enough to send Braun home, but he might. You know, still early. Renekton going to go B, so he can go to the top lane.
Minions have spawned.
I'm a big fan of the robot unicorn skin on Hecarim. I'm a big fan. Like it's pretty. It's fancy.
Colorful and it makes fun noises.
Exactly. Alistair bringing up the OG skin though. The OG.
Yeah. Does anybody? I don't know that I actually know anybody who doesn't have an Alistair skin, because the Unchained Alistair is free.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Okay. So if we don't count that, I have Black Alistair.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like a.
Yeah.
That's a. Whew, that's a spicy skin.
Yeah. I bought the game when it was like at available for purchase kind of thing. Like it was like you get an alpha, and like they were gonna sell the game as a retail game before it went free to play, and yeah, I fully bought it. Anyways.
And it came with Black Alistair.
It came with Black Alistair and Goth Annie.
And Goth Annie. Well, Goth Annie is still available for everybody. But that's a fun tidbit I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they reworked Black Alistair too, so he looks pretty different. All right, so we're seeing a really strong top lane. Kennen, applying pressure. Renekton getting the lane a little bit later, falling behind a little bit behind CS, which was expected.
Yeah.
What we kind of talked about. But Caitlyn also applying pressure on Tristana's, getting that CS lead. Right, so that's going to be.
But there's this wave crashing into the tower. But Tristana has a lot of trouble CSing under tower.
Yeah.
Especially if she goes her exposure shot at level 1.
And here we see Renekton kind of catching up here, only down to 3 CS instead of 6.
It'll be a common theme that Renekton's gonna lose a couple CS in every wave, just because that's the nature of a ranged matchup into a melee matchup. But
right.
Doing all right for himself. As long as he can stay alive, and eventually once he gets his all-in potential.
Hecarim kind of going up in the top lane here, seeing if we can make something work. Renekton going in for the stun. And we're going to apply some pressure, but there's the flash from Kennen. And he's going to be okay.
Okay, well.
15 FPS, surviving, keeping that, using the flash. However, he has the teleport, so he can come back to lane relatively easily, no problems. But Hecarim did burn Ghost for that, so it's going to...
I call worth.
Over the flash? Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a shorter cooldown.
Right.
For one. It's 180-second cooldown versus however many
210.
seconds are in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at math. I'm a film student.
No worries.
We don't do math.
No worries.
Plus the...
pretty even lane here in mid with Karma and Karthus.
Yeah. Karma's not going to be able to kill.
No. But applying that pressure because, Xerath having, low mana, not being able to answer. So it's really interesting. I like the way she did speed herself up with the shield to get that extra stun in. That was really good. So again, we're seeing the Caitlyn apply a lot of pressure, pushing through and kind of denying Tristana a lot of the CS that would be available to her because of the tower. Like you said, it's harder for her to CS under tower.
Yeah, it's kind of the nature of a Caitlyn lane. With your Peacemaker, obviously pushing lanes inevitably.
Now Caitlyn is following up with a lot of traps kind of deep forward, so Alice is going to have to watch for that if they do manage to poke them down. The traps do last for quite a long time now. It's about 2 minutes.
I'm interested to see if Caitlyn's going to max traps first or the Peacemaker, because I've seen both.
Right.
I actually prefer trap max. I think it's way more fun. And the headshots early game do actually ridiculous amount of damage if you get them on a trap.
Right.
Because it's a different multiplier.
And at level 3 you can place 4 traps instead of 3, so that's another thing that kind of saves you from ganks. You can kind of keep them in the brush or lay them down all throughout the lane, which kind of keeps you safe. You can kind of run through them like a minefield, where the other team has to be wary of them. And if you kind of re-engage, it's going to be hard. So we're seeing both junglers on the bottom side of the river here. Kale is kind of going through the try. Let's see if we can make something work.
Kale is trying to make a gank happen, but she hasn't bought yet.
She is in the brush.
She's still just on her Hunter Talisman.
We do see Hecarim kind of doing... Oh, Scuttle. A little bit of a fight mid. Hecarim is now rotating to mid instead of following up on bottom. So still applying that little bit of pressure on Karma. Nothing really going to happen there.
don't think Amumafai is going to get anything here.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to back out.
Yeah. Misha starting with the Lost Chapter. In the game earlier, I was looking over his shoulder as he was playing it, and he built interestingly as a build that I've not encountered before. He started with the Lost Chapter, but instead of completing it,
here we go. Got a little bored, I guess.
There's the Braum. It's just like, all right, well, we're gonna force it. We're gonna force it.
There's nothing there.
See if we can get a summoner, get a panic summoner. So you got a Braum. They thought maybe they thought Braum was just gonna, pop up for a roam mid lane or something like that.
Right.
Instead, just hey guys, I'm still here.
So both junglers have gone back. Both junglers have, able a chance to purchase their items and go back into the jungle. Oh, here we go.
Kale doing the exact same thing she did last time, getting herself the early stinger before investing it all in the jungle item.
Right.
Interesting. I'm not a Kale player, so I can't attest to whether that's good or bad. But
we'll see if it makes it work, right?
Yeah, I mean, it worked previously, so
So another thing, in the top lane, we're seeing Kennen kind of, he was pushed back a little bit, kind of in the first couple minutes of the game. Renekton was able to kind of catch up at farm, but he's kind of lost that lead. Like you said, he's lost, a couple CS every wave, and now he's down by 5. So he was up by 7 previously. But Caitlyn's still holding that one wave, over Tristana. It's not too bad, and we're kind of even mid lane as well.
Yeah, it's the Xerath, Xerath, what's her name? Karma. I'm so good at this. The Xerath Karma lane is like, you have to make a huge mistake as either of them to die.
Right.
Like Karma doesn't possess enough burst to just like one-shot a Xerath.
Right.
And Xerath kinda can try and one-shot a Karma, but Karma rusted Negatron, so.
However, like the trade-off is that Xerath is very immobile, right?
Yeah.
So Karma, if Karma receives a gank from Kale, easy to immobilize and stun with the thread. Tether herself to Xerath, shield. There's a whole plethora of options that are available to Karma, as opposed to Xerath, where he only can really poke her down.
Yeah, Misha has done a really good job so far over the course of the tournament using his summoners.
We're seeing Xerath and Kale kind of meet in the river. Kind of pings are going out. Nothing's going to happen. Just kind of being self-aware that where each other are. But we are seeing Kale kind of move towards the top lane. Probably just going to finish that scuttle and grab that blue buff for Karma.
Hecarim's going a build that you don't usually see. Normally you see Hecarim forego his jungle item entirely before he gets until he gets Trinity Force.
Okay.
Just because it's such an effective item to buy on him. That's actually a lot of damage. Holy moly! Wow.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised.
What room setup did Xerath go? Has no magic resist. Has went cooldown reduction in his blues as opposed to magic resist. So gonna take some chunks. Hopefully gonna get some magic resist at some point, especially considering he's against the Kale, a Kennen, and a Karma.
Right.
Be a wise decision to make. Just throw a Negatron cloak in there somewhere.
Just a little tidbit of information for him. Just you can have that for free.
Yeah.
But we're seeing Karma take the blue buff, going back to lane while Xerath did go back to buy. So it's gonna be interesting to see in terms of that matchup. Clearing the wave with relative ease. I'll see a lot of traps being placed down on Caitlyn. Kind of like what you said. Interesting to see
it looks
that
like she is maxing traps first.
Feels
good.
It's more fun.
Yeah, it's way more fun. It's more fun to see. It's more fun because I'm fascinated by like the way.
Oh, and here we go.
Zone controllers.
There is the flash from Karma.
Flash.
We are going through. Xerath flash as well to follow up.
Oh.
And there's the ulti coming from
Misha,
Xerath, and able to snipe out the first blood. First blood at 10 minutes, right on the dot. There's Caitlyn patting that meter with the ultimate. There you go, not gonna kill.
I was afraid that they weren't gonna get that kill because Misha shortchanged the Q, just barely shortchanged the Q. And I was like, oh my god, is Karma gonna be out here? And then she flashed, but then I got the Hecarim ulti and managed to land his ultis. I was actually talking to him earlier. It's difficult to land those, but Kale is in a awkward spot.
Kale is gonna burn her flash to get away. Looks like relative ease.
Yeah.
Not gonna be a problem for her.
Marcel the Hippo blowing his ulti for no reason on that Alistair, but you know what?
It'll work.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
I'd rather die with it, or I'd rather live with it. We live without it than die with it.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to say.
There we go. Words are hard. Words are hard.
I'm eloquent as heck.
It's all right. Now, interesting enough, we haven't seen, bot lane from Markza's Caitlyn or Braum leave lane yet. They haven't gone back to buy. Looks like they're going to be now.
Yeah, actually, wow, look at how much gold they must have. 3,200 gold on the Caitlyn.
Woo!
And Tristana's already back twice.
Yeah.
And the Tristana Alistar hasn't even managed to poke them out. So like that shows you it is a testament to the skill of this bottom lane.
And they've been ganked twice, right?
Huh?
That's the biggest thing.
They've been ganked twice. They've used their summoners as they need to.
Exactly. Someone's got pizza.
I want pizza.
But
Actually,
it's really interesting to see Braum's showing that level of that power of disengage, right? Following up on Kale. Kale tried to come up behind Caitlyn, trying to see if the tower dive would work, and the entire team was able to capitalize and kind of collapse on Kale. Kale had to burn flash to get out, right? It's really interesting to see that level of play to say this team coordination, saying Kennen burning flash there. Throwing the ultimate down. Renekton also blows the ultimate as well. Blows the flash. He's going to get away safely. Looks like it's not going to be a problem. Karma has rotated top, but it doesn't look like Renekton's going to be sticking around.
I really don't think Renekton had to flash that.
I think they did see the Karma come through river, though. That's the thing, right? So he knew that it is warded, but, So we are going to see kind of a return kill picked up by the Hammer of D with Karma and Kale. However, Kennen's not going to be able to pick up that assist because it's, outside the assist timer.
Yeah, that is a drag, when you get 4-man ganked.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot you can do. Oh, he's
Jareth
just going to
blow
Kale ulti
Oh,
here.
and he's going to burn the ult.
He's going to hold the last one. Misses.
There we go. Nice try, though.
That's the thing. There's a lot of, I was talking to him earlier about landing Xerath ults because there was a time, once upon a time, I was a Xerath player.
Once upon a time.
Loved playing Xerath, one of my favorites. But like landing the ultis, it's difficult. It's very difficult. People have a very unpredictable gank pattern or juke patterns.
Right.
And if you can't read them, then it's almost impossible to hit that spell. So
you kind of have to be intuitive with it, right? Like that's the biggest thing about these games is that you have to show intuitivity.
And and some people are really creative jukers.
Yeah. And it's
the
like
more time you spend playing the game,
go towards you, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. No one ever expects you to juke inwards.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's like you're always going to be juking backwards, up and down, right? It's never towards the enemy. So, ooh, here we go.
Okay, rip.
Kale didn't have the ulti there because she used the top lane.
Yeah.
Hecarim had that, kind of had her number.
How did Hecarim know?
Warded. Warded right there on the brush.
But he boarded that. He just placed that.
But he saw it. He saw like as soon as he placed it, he saw it, and then he came charging right down.
I thought he placed that on his way out. Whatever. Either way, he knew.
Clever. So, 13 minutes in the game. We're seeing 2-1 lead on Hammer of D. They're down by just under 800 gold. So it's not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
Can still be anyone's game. However, Xerath is showing 20 CS lead on Karma.
And Xerath hugely is going to hugely outscale Karma in terms of damage.
But in terms of utility, Karma's really cool, right?
Yeah, for
like
sure.
It's the fact that
especially when you have a hyper K like Tristana.
Right, exactly. Having the shield, having the protect, having the tether, all of these things, offer a new way for the teams to play around the Karma, around protect the Tristana itself. So here we are, seeing Hecarim engage on Karma. I'm gonna make make me eat my words essentially, and we'll see.
That was
a lot of damage.
Oh, Karma.
Here we go. There's the ulti.
Nice.
Braum following up. Tristana, though, Tristana and Alistar able to capitalize on the fact that Braum did leave to mid lane, leaving Caitlyn alone.
Hecarim.
And there's the snipe from Misha right across behind.
Just the tip.
Oh. Really? Really?
We're professional. I'm sorry, Dad.
With that kind of engage on river, we saw bot lane kind of capitalize, saying, hey, Braum's in the river, kind of trying to capitalize on you. Let's follow up on the Caitlyn. And they were able to tower dive Caitlyn, picking up the kill. So having, closing that gap between Tristana. Tristana now having her BF sword, recurve bow, but Caitlyn also has her hurricane.
Yeah, Caitlyn, the hurricane spike for Caitlyn is pretty nice, but she's every single caster who ever cast the Caitlyn game is going to tell you, but Caitlyn has these huge power drops in the early game between 1 and 3 items. She's not very strong. You should rotate her to the mid lane just to clear waves and farm and get her items. Blah, 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 blah. That's just plain, like, it's true when everybody is playing the game perfectly.
Right.
This is a solo queue tournament where not everybody is playing the game perfectly.
But there's
not going to be that kind of rotation. And Caitlyn is doing fine for herself. She's
I
ahead in items.
Yeah, I feel like the game has kind of, for their team, they've kind of established that, like, hey, just concentrate on farming.
Yeah.
Concentrate on being in the bot lane. Concentrate on being in the mid to late game kind of thing. Early game, just farm.
Yeah,
right?
scale as best you can. And
Exactly.
Misha will take care of the mid game.
So again, in the top lane, we're seeing Kennen kind of
Nice
out-farm.
juke.
Another about 30 CS now, lead over Renekton. Again, not something that we've already seen before. Alistair having that armor, getting stunned out. But Tristana can't really follow up. Only about 400 health, 500 health.
Yeah, this
So-
Renekton pick's been a little underwhelming. Not a whole lot has actually come out of that.
I don't
In
think
fact,
he's-
nothing's really come out of it.
He hasn't teleported bottom, or they haven't really kind of contested Dragon.
Yeah, you pick Renekton for like a lane dominant stuff because
That's right.
He's really good into melee matchups.
And here
He's
we
really
have
bad into range
Renekton.
matchups.
Looks like he's going to blow ult. Charges in. And looks like they're just going to ignore the tower. The tower's going to reset and not go on to Caitlyn. They're going to drop Alistair, no problem. Wow.
But this is a...
You're going to see the stun. Caitlyn is going to go down. Kennen's going to ulti. And so is...
Oh,
pick up.
sloppy.
Tristana flashes for the kill, heals for the speed boost, able to get the double kill.
Oh,
Wow.
Misha.
Misha also trying to rotate
Okay,
bottom,
he's
trying
fine.
to
He has
help.
flash as well.
Karma flashes
Karma
there, not
flashes
sure why.
behind him. Thought she could get over that little lip in the wall and hit him with a Q, but she shortchanged it just a little bit. Super unnecessary aggressive dive in the bottom lane. That honestly is probably going to lead to first brick.
I feel like they were banking on Renekton trying to teleport in a little bit earlier for that. I thought that they were going to try to, they believed that they could disengage into the brush, go up to try and kind of rotate through, but they didn't. They didn't follow through. With Kennen being able to be there so quickly and apply the stun on all three of them, it was just easy for them.
This game is sloppy, like very sloppy. All of these like weird flashes, because I'm gonna flash stun.
With
she's got a shield on her. She's super fast. She can just move sideways.
There's the dragon. So
yeah, getting that first break down here, and rotating into the dragon.
So we're seeing, after that one team fight, one sloppy little tower dive, we're seeing Markza kind of fall behind now in gold.
And it got 2 kills on the Tristana as well, which you are like banking on that scaling.
But she didn't
get
exactly, and she didn't get the assist though. She didn't get the assist on Kennen's kill, but it's not too bad. But Kennen was able to pick up the 2 assists and a kill for himself.
Kennen's going to be a huge issue in these team fights. Not far from his proto belt to get a little bit of extra backline access, unless he can get ulted out or pushed out.
And again, we're seeing Renekton uses teleport strictly for just coming back into lane, which is something that
and
he's
immediately
been doing.
gets chunked.
Ooh. Wow.
This Kennen is a monster right now.
There's the 3 charge. There's the stun. Getting that early Hex Trigger just didn't really work out for him.
I mean, it kept him alive in the lane.
Kept him alive, but when I see a Renekton kind of in the top lane, building that magic resist, I'm expecting the jungle to kind of follow up on that. The fact that we can find go in, kind of
and they
commit
blew
to a
Kennen's
kill.
flash super early too, and they never came back.
Exactly, and nothing ever came of it. And look at just taking free damage. Right on a tower. Like, he's going to be able to ulti. There we go, and he's going to follow up. Hecarim,
Hecarim just fully whiffs the ulti.
Can't do anything. Seeing another fight kind of here, mid lane. Brom's able to shield, negate any real damage. Kennen, we're seeing B, no problems at all.
How low is the tower in the top lane? Is it low at all? Can't really afford to check. Don't want to miss too much action.
Yep.
Action-packed adventure.
So we're seeing 4v4 bot, or mid lane here.
That was a really great engage
Wow.
by Alistair.
There's the Brom ulti. He's going to get picked off, no problems. Alistair's going to kind of eat the damage. Karma's going to try to poke. Both teams a little bit low. I feel Hammer of Dawn is suffering a little bit of damage here, but again, they can't really capitalize. Brom is down now, but mid tower is still healthy. Zera's trying to blow the ult.
ulti, so that's something. That's a really useful dive tool. There's also not a great wave, and these Caitlyn traps
Yeah, they're gonna have to eat those traps.
Renekton going in.
Tristana's a little bit caught out on the right side. Seeing he's gonna return to his team to the river, but a lot of them are low. So is Renekton though. Renekton is gonna be. There we go. So blue side picking up another kill. Still pushing out the lane, but doesn't really kind of extend that gold lead that they got from the bottom lane early.
Caught?
Ooh, and he's going to be safe.
Xerath has no ulti.
Doesn't have to burn anything. Kennen doesn't have a flash, doesn't have teleport, nothing. You know, just able to safely quick dash out of there. But mid lane is going to lose their tower.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
All right, great. So you've opened up the map by taking that mid lane turret. It wasn't first tower, which is unfortunate.
Right.
Always looking for that. So much gold involved in first tower.
Xerath still showing, you know, a 20 CS lead over Karma. Renekton closing out that huge CS lead that Kennen had on top of him.
Yeah, but meanwhile, Kennen is, you know, impacting the map and making a big,
while Renekton is
making a big stink in team fights. So.
And we're seeing Caitlyn kind of doing her job, you know, just farming, right? 40 CS lead on Tristana. That's huge. That, you know, take a look at the gold lead. So, you know,
they're actually even in gold.
They're even in gold, even though Tristana has the three kills and the 1 assist. It's, you know, with the 40 CS lead that Caitlyn has, it's kind of closed that gold gap. So again, you know, looking at the fact that this team can't really extend their gold lead that they had, you know, to barely 1,000 gold.
Yeah, 15 CS I'm pretty sure is what equates to
a kill.
Gold worth of a kill.
Yeah. So we're seeing Karma flash here. Hecarim's going to be able to follow up. So another kind of failed flash. We're seeing Alistar go in with his ulti,
nice
get the pulverize off. Not going to use his headbutt just yet. Brahm's going to be able to ulti. And we're going to see Braum being picked up. Caitlyn has to fall back. Xerath pops his ult, lays some damage down. But again, Hammer of D just showing the fact that they're able to cleanly pick off one of their champions.
Absolutely.
And again, Braum is the one taking the damage. Braum is the one of the area of focus, and he's just getting melted.
Yeah, the backline damage is not enough yet.
Braum is getting picked off because he is, you know, offering that frontline damage, but he's only building armor. He's only built health, right? With Kennen and Karma, he's just getting melted by those teams. And there are currently no traps from Caitlyn for them to, you know, kind of aid on. But again, the tower does not go down. Renekton does, you know, kind of fall. He's going to have teleport up shortly, but again, Karma just getting kind of picked off here. Caitlyn picks up the kill.
Nice flash by Misha too. The next auto attack would have procced the Thunderlords.
Right.
And probably would have killed him.
At 222 health, yeah.
Not guaranteed, but possibly. Oh, wow. Tristana, super low.
Wow. Wow. Going in for the kill, getting that reset on jump, and able to just jump away.
Jump, flash, heal, buster shot, jump.
And
that's
how we do it. That's how we do it.
High APM.
That's how we do it at solo queue.
Let's go.
So that's what I'm talking about. Extending that gold lead, capitalizing on where they're kind of ahead, right?
That feels so bad if that happens to you too.
Yeah,
you're like 1.5 seconds away from your recall, so you're not gonna leave, but you're just like, oh well.
There's the scuttle going to red side. You know, Kale's kind of want to contest this dragon. It is an Infernal Drake, right? They kind of want to go with that.
It's an Ocean Drake.
Damage. Sorry?
It's an Ocean Drake.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh. Oh yes, yes it is.
Yeah, the dragon indicator in the top left is the old dragon indicator, whereas this one just means this. Kennen trying to do something in the top lane?
Just applying
apart
some
from
damage.
just make make Renekton sad.
And they're going to take that
finally
mid lane,
take the
no
mid lane.
problem. Mid lane tower T1 is going down.
Yeah, they didn't, honestly, I mean, it's obviously great to have it, but they didn't need this mid tower to go into, to enter the enemy jungle and get their vision line down.
Right.
They already had it established.
They are looking to rotate to Dragon with Renekton. Renekton has his teleport up, so does Kennen. You know, we might see a fight here if they want to engage, but it doesn't look like it.
I don't expect so. I feel like too far behind with Renekton still in the top.
They are extending that gold lead even further. It's just roughly about 3,000 now, just over 3,000 gold. These games are kind of devolving into kind of more scrappy fights.
Yeah.
They're not looking for picks anymore. They are looking for the full team fight engages. And like you said, getting that Kennen flank is just so important for them.
Yeah, and it's all about which. It's not all of it, but a lot of it. This is about which AD carry is going to reach their item spikes first.
Right.
Like
here
know,
we are.
Tristana is very close to hitting 80% crit.
Seeing the Xerath all kind of showing, I know you're in my jungle, just laying down some damage, saying, hey, you know, I'd like you to get out, please.
Yeah.
Seeing the Hecarim ult, here's another Brom, and Caitlyn's able to pick up the kill on Kennen. Kind of minimizing that damage coming out from his AoE. Brom's getting picked up. Hecarim also, you know, kind of dies as well. Tristana's able to pick up a lot of kills, getting this kill resets and on the jumps. You know, as we see it.
That started so well for Markza, but Hecarim kind of dove into the back line
without any assistance at all, and
then just got shredded by the Tristana.
Other than the Spirit Visage, he doesn't have like any health or magic resistance. You know, the Spirit Visage can only do so much.
And he only just completed it too. It wasn't even done before. He's not even building any damage items. Like that's the thing about Hecarim is that he scales decently with a couple damage items. If you pick up a Asterix Gauge and a Trinity Force,
right?
You know he spikes relatively late for a jungler because you're usually relatively starved on farm. But your damage is great. You have a backline threat. Now if he just ults into the backline, it's not. It's not threatening if there's a 0 damage item Hecarim on you.
What I find interesting, you know, kind of a little late in terms of solo queue, but you know, Braum, you know, getting his items, getting the tanky items, is still again not really, you know, prioritizing MR, but he hasn't upgraded. Oh, we're seeing a flash from Kale, going in on Xerath. Braum is able to follow up, but there's Alistair. Alistair's able to kind of headbutt in and get his combo off, getting an easy double kill.
Spicy BM.
Woo. But Braum hasn't upgraded his trinket. He has a sight zone and he hasn't switched off for a ward clearing trinket as well. You know, just kind of that mismanaged play.
And when you're against the Kennen, a Kale, and a Karma,
right?
A Locket's a pretty good item. Worth buying. Don't know why I don't get that.
We're seeing Baron kind of capitalized here. We're gonna see if Hecarim's able to kind of. He has smite available.
Hecarim's a lower level.
Oh, and there's the blue. Blue team gets Baron, able to capitalize, able to kill both Renekton and Hecarim. Follow up, Tristana gets his jump reset and finishes off Caitlyn.
I think
looks
that's
like
the
it's gonna rotate mid.
Final nail in the coffin there. This will not be the game-ending push I would expect.
The kill timers are still fairly short. Even though they do have Baron, they'll be able to clear one.
But they've been on the back foot all game long.
That's right.
Oh, so this Tristana is absolutely huge.
Yeah. There's the ace. Going to clear up that tower.
9 and 4 Tristana. That's not ideal.
They might just call it here.
Yeah, they have a wave.
Yeah.
They can end it.
They've kind of stagnated their deaths.
Yeah, everybody just kind of is like, hey guys, I'm going to 1v5. Hey, look, I'm going to 1v5.
There you go.
No, you're not. Stop it. Why? Oh, look, there's a new,
there's another
Renekton challenger approaches.
And Renekton is also going down. Just padding those stats. We're seeing 21-7 here. Absolutely just, you know, that.
Holy moly.
There we go. And that's the Nexus going down for red team.
Game 1 of the finals going over to Hammer D in a dismantling, I would even say.
Yeah, that just Markza just kind of fell apart there. They just kind of fell apart in terms of their team fighting, you know, getting behind in gold. You know, the damage done from Caitlyn, you know, was so lackluster. Xerath was utilizing his ult to say, like, hey, we are here. We know where you are. We're going to try to engage on you. But there was no follow-up from his team. Renekton doing little over just under 4,000 damage.
4,000 damage. You know, for comparison's sake, Alistair on the enemy team did 5,500.
Wow.
Like, that's, you pick Renekton to bully a lane, and you did less damage to champion than the enemy Alistair. Granted, it was Thunder Cow.
Yeah.
Thunder Cow does deeps.
But, like, it's just, it's disappointing, right?
Yeah.
Even Hecarim getting around 6,900 damage on champions. It's just, in terms of visibility on, you know, we thought that Renekton was going to be able to kind of pressure, you know, those main objectives in terms of a lot of these games, right? A lot of these points on the map, you know, bot lane, dragon, all of these things that Renekton is kind of known for, that if he has teleport, he's kind of a force to be reckoned with. But we didn't see that. We didn't see any of that at all.
Exactly.
Every teleport that we saw come from Renekton went straight to top lane to defend. And, you know, he couldn't even really pressure Kennen that well as well. Getting the early Hex Drinker provided him some, you know, sustainability and, you know, survivability in the top lane, but he wasn't able to capitalize on the fact of, you know, pressuring and bullying Kennen out of there.
Absolutely.
You know, couldn't do anything.
We are going to take a short break. Teams are getting into lobby for game 2 of the finals here today. We're going to take a quick break. about a minute, maybe 2, and we'll be back. Don't miss us too much.
Peace.